seniors, families, and every single SNAP recipient out there, I need you to pay very close attention, because what I'm about to share is not just another small update or minor change. This is an emergency alert that could affect whether you get more money on your EBT card this month or not. That's right, several states across the country have just confirmed they are sending out bonus SNAP benefits. And if you qualify, you could see extra food stamp money hitting your account very soon. But here's the problem. Most people don't even know about it. And if you don't take the time to understand how it works, you might miss out completely. Now, I know that whenever we talk about SNAP or food stamps, there's always confusion. People ask me, who qualifies? How much is being added? Which states are included? And most importantly, when will the money actually arrive on my EBT card? Don't worry, because in this video, I'm going to break it all down for you in plain, simple English. By the end, you'll know exactly what's going on, how this bonus payment works, and whether or not you and your family should expect extra help this month. But before we dive deep into the details, let me set the stage for why this is happening right now. Over the last few months, food prices have been climbing higher and higher. Families are struggling just to cover the basics: bread, milk, eggs, meat, vegetables. You've probably noticed it yourself at the grocery store. A bag of groceries that once cost you $50 now costs closer to $80. And with school starting back up, parents are under even more pressure to put food on the table for their kids. And that's why several state governments have stepped in with emergency funding to support low-income families. They've decided to provide extra food stamp money on top of the regular SNAP benefits you already receive. This is not nationwide, and that's really important to understand. Only some states are participating. Each state runs its own SNAP program under federal guidelines, and that means what happens in one state doesn't always happen in another. So if you live in a participating state, you could be in for some really good news. But if you don't, I'll also explain what you can do to stay prepared in case your state announces something similar in the coming weeks. Let's talk about how these emergency allotments usually work. In the past, during COVID-19, almost every state provided what was called an emergency SNAP allotment. That meant households received extra benefits to bring them up to the maximum level for their household size. But when the pandemic emergency ended, so did those allotments. Since then, many families have been struggling to adjust to smaller SNAP payments. But now, some states are using leftover funds, state-level grants, or federal relief dollars to provide temporary bonus benefits. Think of it like a one-time top up an extra deposit onto your EBT card, separate from your regular monthly benefit. So here's the million-dollar question. Which states are actually sending out this bonus money right now? Based on the latest reports, states like California, New York, and Texas have either announced or are in the process of rolling out extra SNAP funds. Other states, including Illinois, Pennsylvania, and Michigan, are finalizing their plans. Now, keep in mind that each state has different rules, different amounts, and different timelines. Some states will issue the bonus payment automatically, meaning if you already received SNAP, the money will just show up on your EBT card without you having to do anything. Other states, however, may require you to fill out a quick verification form, update your income information, or check your eligibility online. For example, in California, some households are already reporting that they received an extra $95 to $120 in food stamp money this month. In New York, the Department of Social Services announced that qualifying households will see a supplemental payment of up to $100 depending on family size. And in Texas, families with children enrolled in free or reduced-price school meal programs could see an additional benefit automatically issued to their Lone Star EBT card. Now, I want you to think about what that means for a struggling family. Imagine a single mom with 2 kids. She's working part-time. Her SNAP benefits usually cover about $400 a month, and she's constantly trying to stretch every dollar. Suddenly, she checks her card balance and sees an extra $120. That's enough for an extra week's worth of groceries, or maybe even the school lunches her kids need as the school year begins. For her, that bonus payment isn't just a number, it's peace of mind, at least for a little while. But let me be very clear here. These emergency allotments are not permanent. They are limited time, temporary boosts meant to help families during high-need situations. So if you hear about your state offering this bonus, don't assume it will happen every month. That's why it's so important to pay attention and know when these opportunities come up, because once they're gone, they may not come back anytime soon. Now, a lot of people are asking, do I need to apply for this extra money, or will it just show up automatically? The answer depends on your state. In most cases, you do not need to apply. If you already qualify for SNAP and your household is part of the group being supported, the money will be loaded onto your EBT card automatically, usually around the same time as your normal benefit deposit. But in some states, especially where the funding is limited, you might need to check your local SNAP website or even call your caseworker to make sure you don't miss out. I also want to warn you about something really important: scams. Whenever there's news about extra SNAP money, scammers come out of the woodwork. They might send fake texts, emails, or even phone calls claiming you need to verify your information to receive the bonus. Please remember this: the government will never ask for your EBT card number, your PIN, or your social security number over text or email. If someone contacts you asking for that information, it's a scam. The only safe place to check is your state's official SNAP or Department of Human Services website. So let's recap quickly what we've covered so far. Food prices are going up. States are stepping in with temporary emergency SNAP allotments. Some households are already seeing extra money on their EBT cards, and each state has its own process. But here's the most important part: this isn't about free money falling from the sky. It's about making sure families don't go hungry, kids don't start the school year without proper meals, and seniors don't have to choose between food and medication. In the second half of this video, I'm going to take you through the specific payment schedules we know about so far, including when the money will hit EBT cards in different states, how much extra households might receive depending on family size, and how you can double-check whether your state is included. I'll also share some personal stories from people who have already received their bonus payments, so you can get a sense of what's really happening on the ground. Now that we've laid the foundation, let's go even deeper into the details, because knowing the when and how much is just as important as knowing the why. If you're a SNAP or EBT card holder, timing matters. For many households, running out of food before the next benefit reload is a weekly struggle, and these bonus allotments could bridge the painful gap. So let's break down what we know so far about state schedules and expected amounts. In California, for example, reports are showing that households begin receiving their bonus benefits starting on the 12th of this month. The exact date varies depending on your county, but most eligible households should see the money between the 12th and the 21st. The extra amount, anywhere from $95 up to $120, depending on your family size. For a single individual, it might just be $95, but for larger families, 3 or more people, the top-up could be closer to $120. It's not going to cover everything, but it's meaningful. Now let's move to New York. The Department of Social Services there confirmed that their supplemental allotments are being staggered. Some families started seeing payments as early as the 9th of this month, while others will see them between the 15th and the 25th. The amounts vary widely. Smaller households are seeing around $60 to $75 extra, while larger households could see up to $100 in bonus benefits. One New York grandmother I heard from shared that she received $90 extra on her EBT card, and for her, that meant she could finally buy fresh produce for her grandkids instead of relying on canned goods for the rest of the month. Texas has also joined the list, and this one is especially interesting because they're tying their bonus to children in free or reduced price school meal programs. Families with kids in those programs may already be familiar with PEBT. Pandemic EBT would help feed children when schools were closed. Now, a version of that funding is being repurposed for 2025 to give families with school-aged children an additional $80 to $110 automatically loaded onto their Lone Star EBT cards. The rollout started in early August, and distributions will continue through the end of the month. But what about other states? Illinois is in the process of finalizing its plan. An early announcement suggests that they will issue a flat $95 per household in September as a one-time supplement. Michigan is considering a similar program, though details haven't been confirmed yet. Pennsylvania has taken a slightly different approach. Instead of issuing a flat payment, they are topping up benefits for households with seniors and people with disabilities, ensuring they receive at least a $100 boost this month. So here's what we know for sure. California, $95 $120, August 12th 21. New York, $60 $100, August 9th 25. Texas, $80 on $110. Rolling through August for families with kids. Illinois, $95. Expected in September. Pennsylvania, at least $100 for seniors divided by disabled households. This month. Michigan, considering similar action. Not confirmed. These are the states we have verified updates on right now. Other states could still announce similar programs. So the key takeaway is, don't assume your state is doing nothing. Always check your state's official SNAP or DHS website, because announcements can happen suddenly and benefits can show up without warning. Now, let me issue a warning. While these emergency allotments are fantastic news, they are also unpredictable. Funding can run out. State budgets can shift. Political decisions can cancel programs overnight. If your state is giving out bonus SNAP money this month, consider it a blessing, but don't plan your long-term budget around it. It's a temporary cushion, not a permanent fix. So what can you do to prepare? First, check your balance frequently. Sometimes these payments arrive earlier than expected, and you don't want to miss it. Second, make sure your contact information is up to date with your state's SNAP office. If they need to reach you for verification or to notify you of changes, they'll need a working phone number or mailing address. Third, avoid scams by ignoring any text, email, or call that asks for your PIN or card details. And finally, if you have access to local resources like food pantries or community aid programs, use them in combination with your SNAP benefits. That way, if the bonus money stops, you won't be left scrambling. If you found this update helpful, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with your family, your friends, or anyone you know who's on SNAP, because they may not know they're eligible for this bonus money. And if you want to stay ahead of these changes, make sure you subscribe to this channel right now. I'll keep you updated on every SNAP, Social Security, and benefit program change as soon as new information comes out. Don't forget to like this video if you found value in it, and drop a comment below telling me what state you're in and whether you've seen these bonus benefits yet. Your story could help someone else know what to expect. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about policies or programs. It's about real lives. And together, by staying informed, we can make sure no one misses out on the help they need.